Life won't change just because you hope it will. Life changes when you choose to act. Every small decision you make today is shaping your future without you even realizing it. Many people wait for opportunity to knock, but opportunity often appears the moment you start moving. Don't wait for everything to be perfect, because perfection never arrives at the beginning. It grows from the brave first step you take. You may not always be strong, but you can choose to keep walking, even when your heart is wavering, even when the world feels heavy. True strength comes not from victory, but from the courage to rise again every time you fall. And when you feel like giving up, remember, you've made it this far, not to stop here. Sometimes you don't need a perfect plan. You just need the conviction to try one more time. Fear is natural, but don't let it become an excuse to stop. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you cannot change, because that is where peace resides. Not in an easy world, but in a heart that is ready to accept everything calmly. Sometimes life doesn't give you answers quickly, because it wants you to learn patience and find the meaning in every step you take. Not every struggle has to be won. Some just need to be lived through so you can understand who you truly are. When everything feels heavy, don't be quick to give up. Take a breath, calm your heart, because even storms never last forever. Life is not about waiting for everything to get easy, but about learning to be strong amidst uncertain situations. Fear will only have power if you keep giving it room. But once you choose courage, fear slowly loses its meaning. Every small step toward your dream is proof that you are growing. Don't underestimate that process, because that is precisely where the magic is working. And remember, you don't have to know all the answers today. All you need is the belief that your steps today will lead you toward the best version of yourself. Sometimes, you don't realize how strong you are until the only option left is to endure. Strength isn't about never being afraid, but about continuing to move forward even when fear is present. Life will always test your courage, not to destroy you, but to show how far you can grow. Don't let failure stop you from dreaming, because often, failure is just another path to something better. You cannot change the past, but you can always change the meaning of that past. Let the wounds become lessons, not reasons to stop believing in the future. Every day is a new opportunity to love your life a little deeper and to trust yourself a little stronger. You don't have to know all the steps ahead, because sometimes one step taken with faith means more than 1,000 steps taken with doubt. And when you feel alone on this long road, remember, every great person once walked in solitude before eventually finding their own light. Life doesn't always go according to plan, but every event always has a reason, always has a lesson waiting for you to realize. Sometimes you have to lose your way so you can find the actual path meant for you. Don't be afraid to change, because without change there will never be growth. A mistake is not the end. It is just a sign that you are trying something new. You don't fail when you fall. You fail only when you stop trying. Every challenge that comes is preparing you for something greater. So don't run from difficulty. Face it with an open heart. Life is not about avoiding pain, but about learning how to grow through it. When everything feels unfair, remember, life never promised it would be easy, but it always provides the opportunity to become stronger. And maybe today you haven't seen the results of your struggle, but trust me, time is preparing the beauty that you need. Everyone has their own timing. Don't compare your journey with that of others. What matters is not how fast you arrive, but how sincerely you walk the path. Life doesn't demand that you are always strong, but it teaches you how to find strength when you feel your weakest. When you fall, that is not the end of the story. It is merely a new chapter waiting for you to rewrite with greater courage. You might not be able to control what happens to you, but you can always choose how you respond to it. Pain doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to shape you into someone wiser. Don't be afraid of the silence, because in the quiet you will find your true self. And when you feel everything is moving slowly, remember, a flower doesn't bloom overnight. Everything beautiful needs time to grow perfectly. Sometimes you just need to pause for a moment, not to give up, but to listen to what your heart truly wants to say. Don't keep running without direction, because even a single conscious, small step means more than a long journey without purpose. You don't have to know all the answers now. Life will teach you everything in due time. Patience doesn't mean being passive, but about trusting the process. That whatever you are fighting for will come when you are truly ready to receive it. Stop blaming the past, because every mistake is part of the story that shaped you. Without the wounds, you would never know strength. Life will keep moving with or without your plans. So don't be afraid to change direction, as long as your heart still knows where it wants to go. And remember, happiness doesn't always come from big things. Sometimes it arrives quietly in the form of peace you feel after accepting everything as it is. Life waits for no one. Therefore, don't delay your happiness until everything is perfect. You have the right to feel tired, but don't let that fatigue make you forget how far you have walked. Every scar you carry is proof that you once dared to fight, and behind every pain, a stronger version of yourself is always growing. Don't let your mind be filled with fear. Let your heart lead the way, because a heart that believes always finds a path, even in the darkness. Success isn't about who is the fastest, but about who doesn't stop when everything feels difficult. Learn to appreciate your process, because the journey toward your dreams is more important than the result itself. And when the world feels noisy, calm yourself, listen to your own voice, because that is where your truth and peace reside. You don't need to be someone else, because the world needs the best version of yourself. Don't spend your life seeking validation, because your worth is not defined by other people's opinions. You cannot control what people think, but you can always control how you treat yourself. Every time you choose to remain kind, in a world that is often unfair, that is already an incredible form of strength. Sometimes you won't see the results of your hard work today, but trust me, every effort is never in vain. Everything grows slowly, like the sun rising after a long night. Don't be afraid to dream big, even if others don't understand those dreams, because big dreams can only be seen by a courageous heart. And if one day you feel lost, remember you don't need to know the entire path. Just be sure of the first step, because that step will take you where you are meant to be. Sometimes you will fall and no one will come to help you, not because the world doesn't care, but because in that moment, God wants you to learn to stand on your own. Don't be afraid of pain, because strength grows from it. Don't hate difficult times, because it is there that your soul is forged. You were not created to live an ordinary life. You were created to grow, to give meaning to the world through what you do. Every decision you make today is a seed for your future life. So stop doubting and start planting kindness. Start planting courage. It's okay if you haven't arrived anywhere yet. The important thing is that you keep walking. Small step today is still more valuable than a big intention that is never acted upon. And when you feel alone, remember one simple thing. As long as you still have a dream, you are never truly alone. Life is not always about how fast you arrive, but about how you endure when everything feels slow. Many people give up not because they are incapable, but because they lose faith prematurely. Remember, pressure is not meant to break you, but to form you into someone stronger. Every time you feel pressured, it is a sign that you are growing. Don't wait for circumstances to be perfect, because perfection will never come. Start with what you have where you are, with a believing heart. Failure is just a harsh but honest teacher. It teaches you about limits, about patience, and about who you truly are. And when you feel tired, remember, you once dreamed of reaching this point. Don't stop now, because every step forward brings you closer to the life you envisioned. Don't let the past steal your future. Whatever happened, it is done, and you still have time to create a new life. Sometimes you are too busy regretting what is past that you forget today is also valuable. Every second you live is an opportunity to change. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust the sails of your boat. Life will never be smooth sailing, but you can learn to dance in the storm. Fear will always be there, but courage doesn't mean being without fear. Rather, it means continuing to move forward despite that fear. Every time you fall, look within yourself. There is a strength you haven't realized yet, and that strength will guide you from the darkness toward the light. Everyone has a time when life feels heavy, where all efforts seem insufficient, and hope begins to feel distant. But precisely in moments like those, you are being forged to become stronger. That pain is not a punishment, it is training. Training so you can handle more light in the future. Don't hope your path is always easy, because there is no beautiful mountain without a difficult climb. Your small steps today, even if slow, are still taking you to the peak you dream of. Don't compare your journey with others. You have your time, you have your own destiny. Believe me, what you do with heart will never be in vain. You don't have to know all the answers today. Sometimes all you need is the courage to keep moving forward, even if your vision is still blurred by doubt. Life is not about who is the fastest, but who is most able to endure when everything feels difficult. Patience is a strength often mistaken for weakness. In fact, it is patience that carries you through the storm. Every mistake you make is not the end of everything. It is simply a sign that you are trying, that you are living. Don't be afraid of losing your way, because even stars need darkness to be able to shine. Believe it, behind all that feels heavy, a stronger version of yourself is slowly being born. You cannot change the past, but you can always choose how your future begins. Stop blaming circumstances, stop waiting for luck to arrive. You are the creator of your own life. You have the power to determine your direction today. Every thought you plant is the seed of the life you will live later. If you plant belief, you will reap strength. If you plant fear, you will only reap doubt. Don't let the outside world control your heart. Calm your mind. Listen to the voice within you. It is there that you will find all the answers you seek. Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass, but about learning to walk in the rain with a heart full of gratitude. Sometimes life doesn't go according to plan, and everything you built feels like it collapses in an instant. But remember, when something ends, it doesn't mean you have lost. Perhaps it is just the universe's way of asking you to start again, in a better way. Failure is not the end of the journey. It is just a detour to a more appropriate path. Don't let fear stop your steps, because fear never takes anyone to the top. Every wound you carry will one day become a story that strengthens others. And every tear that falls will be proof that you once fought with all your heart. Keep believing that everything happens for a reason. Maybe you don't see the results now, but one day you will smile and say, "Now I understand why I had to go through all of that." There are times when you feel you can't take it anymore, times when all effort feels futile, and you start asking, "Why must I go through this?" But trust me, every burden you carry is not meant to destroy you, but to broaden your heart so you are able to understand more, love deeper, and appreciate more sincerely. Sometimes what you need is not answers, but the calmness to accept that the process is important. Not everything needs to be understood now, because time will explain everything slowly. You are not alone on this journey. There is always a small light within you that will never go out. Even if the world around you feels dark, guard that light. Nurture it with hope and keep moving forward, because as long as you are willing to walk, life will always open a path. Life will always test you, not to punish you, but to show how far you can grow. You won't know how strong you are until that strength is the only option you have. Every time you overcome a difficulty, you are being shaped into someone tougher. Don't let failure make you stop believing. Sometimes you can't see the results now, but the seeds you plant today will grow at the right time. Life is not about waiting for opportunities to come, but about creating opportunities from what you have. You don't need everything to start. You just need belief and the courage of that first step. And when the world feels silent, remember that quietness is not a sign of the end. It is simply space for yourself to listen to your own heart. Sometimes you have to lose your way first, to finally find the right path. You have to fall so you know how to stand stronger. Every wound you carry is a sign that you once dared to try. Don't hide those wounds, because that is where your courage is visible. Life is not about avoiding pain, but about learning to dance on it. It's not about waiting for the storm to leave, but about finding calm in the rain. You don't have to be perfect to start moving. You just need to be honest with yourself, that you want to change, that you deserve a better life. And even if the road is still long, just believe that every small step still takes you closer to the best version of your true self. Sometimes you think your life is moving too slowly, while others seem far ahead. But remember, everyone has their own timing. Flowers do not bloom in the same season, but they are all beautiful in their own time. Stop comparing your journey, because your destiny is not written with someone else's pen. What you have today is the raw material for your own future. You don't need to be extraordinary to start, but you must start to be extraordinary. Start with a small step, because consistent small steps will take you further than one big step. And if you feel tired, rest for a moment, not to give up, but to remember the reason why you started. Sometimes, you're too busy searching for the meaning of life that you forget to actually live it. Life isn't about finding meaning. It's about creating it with every small step you take. You don't need to wait for a perfect day, because today can also be a new beginning. You just need a little courage, and the belief that whatever you do with good intentions will surely bring results. Happiness doesn't always come from big achievements, but from gratitude for the small things you often ignore. A smile, the morning air, or the courage to try again after failing. Don't wait for the world to change to start being happy. Start with yourself, because when your heart is calm, everything around you will begin to feel more beautiful. And remember, life is not about how long you walk, but about how deeply you enjoy every step within it. Sometimes you wait for a sign from the sky, when that sign has long been inside you. The small voice that says, "I can. It's possible. It's worth a try." Often you doubt yourself not because you are weak, but because you forget how strong you have been all this time. You have been through heavy days, and you are still here. That is proof that you don't give up easily. Life will not give you all the answers at once, because every one of your steps is part of a lesson. Every difficulty brings you closer to a deeper understanding. Don't be afraid to change, because change is not a loss, but the process of finding your new self. And when you start believing again, slowly the world will open its path, because miracles don't come when you wait. Miracles come when you dare to take action. No one is ever truly ready for everything in life. You just learn as you go through steps, failures, and the courage to try again. Don't wait for the fear to disappear, because courage isn't about being fearless, but about walking even when the fear is still there. Everyone has a different journey, and you don't need to rush. The important thing is that you keep moving, even if slowly, even if just one step every day. Trust me, the universe doesn't close the path for those who keep trying. Sometimes it feels lonely, but behind that silence, something is growing within you: strength, patience, and resilience. And one day you will look back, realizing that every wound, every tear, has guided you to become someone wiser and stronger than before. Sometimes you are too hard on yourself, because you feel you are not enough, not successful yet, not yet who you dreamed you would be. But stop for a moment and see how far you have walked. You were once afraid, but you still tried. You once failed, but you didn't give up. You were once broken, but you managed to put yourself back together. That is not a small thing. That is proof that you are strong, that you are growing, that you are still fighting with a whole heart. It's okay if you haven't arrived yet. It's okay if you are still searching for direction. The important thing is that you haven't stopped walking. Life is not about how fast you arrive, but about who you become during that journey. And if today feels heavy, remember that even the sun must set first before it can shine again tomorrow morning. Sometimes you forget that every small step you take today is part of something big in the future. You might not see the results now, but big changes always start with a simple step. It's okay if you are still learning. It's okay if you are still searching for direction. The important thing is that you keep trying. Every day you go through, every challenge you face, is shaping you into the best version of yourself. Don't let failure make you doubt, because failure is not the end, but a sign that you are brave enough to try. You don't need to know all the answers today. Trust the process, because time knows when to bring you the results you dream of. And when the day feels heavy, remember that you are still here, still breathing, still having the opportunity to start again. Life doesn't always give you what you want, but it often gives you what you need, so you grow stronger than before. Sometimes you don't get the results today, because the universe is preparing the right time. So don't rush. Learn to trust that every delay is not a rejection, but a protection. There are things that indeed need time, like a flower waiting for the season to bloom. And once the time comes, everything will be beautiful in its own way. You just need to keep walking. Even if slowly, even if alone, because every step you take is proof that you haven't given up. And when you start to doubt, remember that inside you, there is a strength that has made you rise up many times. That same strength is still there, waiting for you to believe again. Sometimes you are too focused on what you haven't achieved yet, that you forget to be grateful for how far you have walked. You were once at your lowest point, but now you stand in a place you once prayed for. Maybe it's not perfect, but it's still progress you should be proud of. Stop judging yourself by the results, and start appreciating the process you've been through. Every small effort, every step full of doubt, it all matters. Life is not about being the best, but about becoming better than the person you were yesterday. And if today you feel tired, rest for a while, not to give up, but to remember that you are growing, that you are in a process toward the best version of yourself. Keep believing in your journey, because all beautiful things always need time to grow perfectly. Don't let failure stop you, because often, that is exactly where the start of your strength grows. You don't fail when you fall. You only fail if you refuse to get back up. Every wound you carry is not a sign of weakness, but proof that you were brave enough to try. Not everyone will understand your journey, and that's okay. You don't live to prove anything to them. You live to prove to yourself that you can get through this. You don't have to know everything today. Just know one thing, that you will keep moving forward. because every small step is proof that you still have hope, still have spirit, and still have dreams worth fighting for. So don't be afraid to walk slowly. Only be afraid if you stop completely. Sometimes life doesn't give you what you want, not because you don't deserve it, but because you are being prepared for something greater. Sometimes the road you walk feels heavy, not because you are weak, but because you are strong enough to handle it. You can't control what comes your way, but you can always control how you respond to it. When the world feels against you, be silent for a moment. Take a deep breath and remember, a storm does not last forever. True strength isn't about how loudly you shout, but how calmly you can endure when everything feels chaotic. You don't have to be perfect to be valuable. Just be yourself and keep moving forward even if the step feels slow. Believe it, every day you endure, you are growing, and without realizing it, you are becoming the best version of yourself. Life is not always about who is the fastest, but about who does not give up, even if their steps are the slowest. You don't have to know all the answers today. Sometimes it's enough to know that you are still willing to try. Every day you wake up, you have already won, because you choose to keep going, not give up. Patience is not a sign of weakness, but proof that you believe in your own timing. You are allowed to be tired, allowed to rest, but don't let yourself stop forever. Life is not about comparing your steps with others, but about appreciating every small step you take. Because one day you will look back and realize that all this struggle is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and braver than before. Sometimes what you need is not answers, but the calmness to believe that everything will work out as it should. Life will test you not to destroy you, but to build you into someone stronger than before. Every obstacle you face is not a sign that you failed, but a sign that you are moving forward. Don't let the past hold back your steps, because your future doesn't need excuses. It only needs your courage to move forward. You don't have to be perfect, just be someone who doesn't give up. Remember, no step is too small as long as you keep walking towards your dreams. And tonight, before you close your eyes, say to yourself, I was enough today, and tomorrow I will grow a little stronger again. You don't need to wait for the perfect time to start, because the perfect time never really comes. A small step today is more valuable than a big plan that is never executed. Don't be afraid of failure, because failure is just a lesson that builds wisdom. Sometimes what you need is not an easy road, but a strong heart to walk on the difficult road. You were not created to give up. You were created to grow, to learn, and to rise every time you fall. Look within yourself. All the strength you are looking for has been there from the beginning. Tonight, let your heart be calm, release all burdens, and believe that every day you live brings you closer to the best version of yourself. Sometimes, the hardest thing in life is to keep believing when everything feels uncertain, but it is precisely in moments like those that your belief is tested and your soul is forged to become stronger. Don't be afraid of change, because without change there is no growth. Whatever you face today, see it as part of the process, not the end of the journey. Every pain, every disappointment is a stepping stone toward wisdom. You are not walking alone. The universe is always guiding your steps, even if sometimes you can't see the direction. Take a deep breath, calm your heart, and say to yourself, I am still here, and I will keep moving forward one step at a time. Don't let your past dictate who you are today, because every day you live is a new opportunity to start over. A mistake is not the end of everything. It is just proof that you are trying to become better. You don't have to know how everything will end. Just trust that you are being guided to the right place. When life feels heavy, remember that you have been through difficult times before, and you can get through them again now. True strength is not about never falling, but about always rising with a stronger heart. Pause for a moment tonight, feel the calm within you, and realize that you have walked quite far, stronger than you realize. Tomorrow is a new page, and you are ready to write it with courage and new conviction. Sometimes you forget how strong you have been to endure this far. You have made it through days you never thought you could survive. But look at yourself now, still standing, still fighting, still trying. Life is not about how fast you arrive, but about how sincerely you enjoy every step you take. Don't rush. Every beautiful thing needs time to grow. Don't let doubt cover the light you have, because within you there is something extraordinary that will only be seen when you dare to believe in yourself. Tonight, calm your mind, let your heart rest, and remember one simple thing. You are enough, and you are heading toward a better life step by step. Not everything will go according to plan, and that's okay. Sometimes life closes one door, not because you failed, but because you are being directed to a more suitable path. Learn to trust the process even if you haven't seen the results yet. Every delay, every obstacle could be a form of protection from something you are not yet ready for. You haven't lost your way. You are learning to walk in a new way. Calm yourself, let time work for you, not against you. And remember, you are not left behind. You are just being prepared for something bigger than you can imagine. Sometimes courage doesn't look like a roar, but like a soft whisper in your heart that says, "I will try again tomorrow." You don't have to be strong all the time because even strength needs time to rest. It's okay to feel tired. It's okay to feel doubtful, as long as you don't stop completely. Life is not about how often you win, but how often you choose to rise up when the world feels like it's pushing you down. Every day you endure, that is already an incredible small victory. So tonight, let go of everything that burdens your mind. Let your heart be calm, and trust that tomorrow brings a new opportunity to try once again, with a calmer heart. Don't let fear hold back your steps, because behind fear often hide great things waiting for you. You don't need to know everything. Just know that you are capable of getting through this, one step at a time. Life will always provide challenges, but every challenge comes with a lesson, and every lesson brings you closer to wisdom. Stop searching for strength outside yourself, because everything you need is already within you. Tonight, calm your mind. Let go slowly of all that you cannot control, and say to yourself gently, "I was enough today. I am proud to have endured, and tomorrow I will step with a stronger heart." Sometimes what you need is not answers, but the calmness to believe that everything will be okay in due time. You don't always have to know the definite direction, because even a small step on a dark path can still lead you toward the light. Life is not always about running as fast as possible, but about having the courage to keep moving, even if your heart is full of doubt. There are times when you need to pause for a moment, not to give up, but to breathe, and remember the reason you started. You are not alone in this struggle. Every strong soul has felt fragile in the middle of the journey. Tonight, let all the pressure slowly subside. Let your heart rest, because tomorrow, there will always be new hope waiting for you. You don't have to have everything now. Just have the courage to start from where you stand. Every small step you take is more valuable than waiting for the perfect time. Sometimes life feels heavy, and that's natural, but don't let that heaviness stop you. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are strong for still choosing to rise even when your heart and body want to give up. Tonight, take a deep breath. Release all that you cannot control, and believe that every effort, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to your dreams. Remember, true strength is not about never falling, but about always daring to rise and walking again with a resilient heart. Sometimes courage doesn't look like a roar, but like a soft whisper in your heart that says, "I will try again tomorrow." You don't have to be strong all the time, because even strength needs time to rest. It's okay to feel tired. It's okay to feel doubtful, as long as you don't stop completely. Life is not about how often you win, but how often you choose to rise up when the world feels like it's pushing you down. Every day you endure, that is already an incredible small victory. So tonight, let go of everything that burdens your mind. Let your heart be calm, and trust that tomorrow brings a new opportunity to try once again, with a calmer heart. Don't let fear hold back your steps, because behind fear often hide great things waiting for you. You don't need to know everything. Just know that you are capable of getting through this, one step at a time. Life will always provide challenges, but every challenge comes with a lesson, and every lesson brings you closer to wisdom. Stop searching for strength outside yourself, because everything you need is already within you. Tonight, calm your mind. Let go slowly of all that you cannot control, and say to yourself gently, "I was enough today. I am proud to have endured, and tomorrow I will step with a stronger heart." Sometimes what you need is not answers, but the calmness to believe that everything will be okay in due time. You don't always have to know the definite direction, because even a small step on a dark path can still lead you toward the light. Life is not always about running as fast as possible, but about having the courage to keep moving, even if your heart is full of doubt. There are times when you need to pause for a moment, not to give up, but to breathe, and remember the reason you started. You are not alone in this struggle. Every strong soul has felt fragile in the middle of the journey. Tonight, let all the pressure slowly subside. Let your heart rest, because tomorrow, there will always be new hope waiting for you. You don't have to have everything now. Just have the courage to start from where you stand. Every small step you take is more valuable than waiting for the perfect time. Sometimes life feels heavy, and that's natural, but don't let that heaviness stop you. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are strong for still choosing to rise even when your heart and body want to give up. Tonight, take a deep breath, release all that you cannot control, and believe that every effort, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to your dreams. Remember, true strength is not about never falling, but about always daring to rise and walking again with a resilient heart. Sometimes you feel you are not enough or afraid that your efforts are in vain. But remember that every small step you take is bringing you closer to your goal. You don't have to know everything today. Just trust that you are on the right path. Failure is not the end, but part of the process that shapes you into someone stronger. Tonight, let your heart be calm. Release all doubts and say to yourself, I did my best today, and tomorrow I will step again with a stronger heart and full of conviction. Life is not about how fast you arrive, but about how consistent you are in walking. You don't have to be perfect to move forward. Just be brave enough to start again, even if the previous step felt like a failure. Every mistake you experience is not a sign of weakness, but proof that you are learning. Tonight, take a deep breath, release all worries, and believe that every effort you make is preparing you for a better tomorrow. You are not alone on this journey, and your strength is greater than you realize. Sometimes life feels heavy, and that's natural, but don't let difficulty stop you. Because every obstacle is an opportunity to grow. You don't have to know all the answers. Just trust the steps you take today. Every small effort you make is more valuable than waiting for the perfect opportunity. Tonight, take a slow breath, release all that you cannot control, and believe that tomorrow is a new page. To try again with a stronger and wiser heart. Sometimes you feel tired, but that's not a sign you failed. Every step you take, even if small, is bringing you closer to your dreams. Don't be afraid of uncertainty, because that is where opportunity grows. Life is not about always being right, but about learning from mistakes and continuing to move forward despite the doubt. Tonight, take a deep breath, let your heart rest, and believe that every effort you make is shaping you into a stronger, wiser person and more ready to face tomorrow.